up everybody? Good afternoon and welcome to a very hot and sweaty What's Up vlog episode 90. This is the Hot 100 race 10 of the WKG Racing League, and as I'm setting up here, possibly the most stupid idea I've had so far. I know there's a fine line between sort of genius and crazy, and I tried to convince myself I'm sort of hovering somewhere on the correct side of that line, but moments like this make me question it. It's about 3 billion degrees here in my little sweat box. It's 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Well, it will be. Well, it's 2:30 in the afternoon. We're due to race at 3 past. A mid-July summer's day, and we're going to do a 100-kilometre race through the volcano of Watopia. Yeah, not one of my finest ideas, I'm happy to admit. That said, the flip side to that, and the silver lining, which I always like to look for, is that it seems to have weeded out a load of riders. So at the moment it looks like there's about five league riders in this race. There may be more, of which there's potential there that I'm the only C rider. So come on, that could be my first ever league win. Maximum points, so that's what I'm aiming for today. If there turns out to be 2 or 3 C riders, that's going to be really depressing if I come second or third out of 2 or 3 riders. That will not bode well for the remainder of the season. But anyway, going to try and remain positive, remain excited. I feel actually quite fit, which is always the kiss of death when I say that before a ride, but I'm feeling quite energetic. I've been freezing some loads of water and electrolyte drinks, so they'll be nice and cold and defrosted by the time I start. Bike's all re-lubed. I've been doing some stretching as I do, you know, my usual pre-race routine that works so well for me. So I'm in good shape. I'm ready for this one. Had a bit of a dispute which I'm hoping will have been resolved, or will resolve itself during this race, regarding categories and riders that have made significant improvements. There's one rider, you know who you are, but there are very mitigating circumstances. So it's by no means considered cheating by anybody. No one is suspected of trying to manipulate the category system or make gains in a category that they shouldn't be in. It's not that at all. There was a genuine error which I'm as responsible for right from the start. But I'm hoping that we've managed to get that situation resolved to everybody's satisfaction, and we can just crack on with what has been the friendliest, most fun, best spirited league I've ever seen on Zwift. Obviously I'm slightly biased with my opinions there, but I genuinely believe it. So enough with all the back end stuff, let's get on with the racing. I'm trying to cool things down with a big fan here, little fan there, trying to keep my computer cold so that the screen recording works. I've got plenty to do still to get ready, so I'm going to get on with that, and I will see you on the start pin. Oh, before I go, Triple Crown t-shirt, check it out, it's in the shop now. This is the only sales bit I'm going to do probably during this whole video, so anyone doing the Triple Crown race, get yourselves a Triple Crown t-shirt as well. They're in the shop now, $15.99, limited edition to 30, and whatever postage is relevant to wherever you live, so go and check it out. I'll leave a link at the video. Right, back to the race.
Oh, this is brilliant. We've actually got a really good turn up. There's and Peter's just jumped in as well. Good man. It's well, it's good and bad because there's quite a few C's in there now. So I'm Peter will definitely beat me. Dave Crook's in there. He'll definitely beat me. Hans Summerson, if he's still racing the C's, he'll definitely beat me. So it's not looking quite like the easy podium finish I was expecting, but I'm really pleased you guys have turned up. Dave Crook, I can't remember what time you said it would be for you, but I know it's not a very comfortable time. But we got, and there's some new people in there as well. I'll try and get them before we have to start. We got Ruth Ambrose. Fantastic to have you here, Ruth. One thing I have noticed is you haven't got Team WKG in your Zwift Power team, so you'll need to do that if you want to be included in the league. We've got Noel McGrath, we've got Brett Smith. We've got Hans Summerson, I mentioned, as I ramp up the power now with the last 5 seconds to go. Sorry if I've missed any names off. And go. Good luck, everybody. Oh, look at this. Peter's off 9.7, 10.4 watts per kilogram. What is this? This is a long race, guys. Oh dear. I can't get sucked into that. That'll just be madness. It's a long way to go. I'm going to stay here with Ruth, I think. Let's see if we can, see if I can drag, myself and Ruth can drag ourselves back towards Dave Crook. We're not even in the volcano yet, and they've gone off like I nearly said something rude. They've gone off like madmen.
Charlotte Houston, we're in Echo CMP, good to go, front back.
Of course, Mr. Keith Denton, that was a name I neglected to mention. Thanks for turning up, buddy. I think with, is it Len? I think maybe Len. Oh crikey, I've got a memory like a sieve, as you know. But I think that possibly makes you the only ever present, apart from myself so far, in the league. Or was it Peter? No, Peter missed the race, I'm sure of it. So I think it was yourself and Len Capel up to this point. So Keith, if you get to the end of this one, you'll be leading the Warrior chart. And obviously there's a pretty good chance of some decent points as well. This is becoming really complicated in the league, as if it wasn't a struggle enough for me to do it anyway. I've got to now start trying to knock out the worst results of the previous rides to replace with any better ones, so that your best 8 results are the ones that are counted for points. So I was never that good at maths anyway. I don't have a particularly logical brain, so this should get interesting. Just assume that the league might be slightly sort of creative from now on in. My God, it's hot. This fan, come on. Start doing something more than that. I think I've got it too low down. Whoop, oh, that's not right. I'm holding a really steady, easy pace to start off with. The others are miles away from me, but I'm not racing them anyway. I've got no, this might sound defeatist, but I can't compete with Hans, Peter and Dave in the seas. So I'm going to have to let those guys fight it out. Hopefully, with the best will in the world, I love you guys, but hopefully one or all of you cramp up really bad, completely collapse, and have to pull out, and I might find myself in a podium place. So we'll wait and see. At the moment they're 1 minute and 4 ahead. I've got Ruth doing a great job just holding my wheel. Noel's just dropped back a little bit, but that's not to say he won't be able to jump on if we hold this pace nice and steadily for a while. As we come into the volcano now to start what will be the first of 24 laps. You can see the sweat already. We've got F. Castro from ODZ in there as well. Sorry man, I didn't see your name in the start pen either. Good to see you. Thanks for joining the race. This was a really stupid idea, I acknowledge that. But it's also the last league race for a while. Thank you, Brett, for the ride on. It's also the last league race for a little while. Quite a few of us have got Ride London coming up in a couple of weeks. So it wouldn't be sensible to be committed to these rides in that build up to the Ride London. So we do have the Thursday 2-for-1s will still be on. Peter Wilson's toast? No. Surely not. I'm going to try and act not pleased about that, Peter. Not doing a very good job. He's still 1.5 minutes ahead of me, so you might be toast, but by the time I've caught up with you, it'll be like starting a whole new race again, so you'll be fine. What was I saying? Yes, we've still got the 2-for-1 Thursday rides, but obviously they're a nice, gentle ride with a competitive edge thrown in, which is totally optional and not too taxing on the legs. But other than that, it's going to be all sort of outdoor riding for me now between between now and Ride London. And the next race is actually the Triple Crown on the 5th and 6th of August, which I'm super excited about. And then the league resumes again the week after that, I think. So this was a stupid idea, but at least I get some rest, a bit of a rest from racing for a couple of weeks. Yeah, Peter's definitely slowed down. He's 40 seconds ahead. I wonder if he's thinking, grab hold of myself and Ruth when we reach him, if we reach him. Wouldn't be a bad idea. Noel said he was actually going to take this pretty easy because it was worth just turning up for, because clearly there are points to be had just for completing the ride, no matter how long it takes you. I had a brilliant post from Darren Hunter, who basically said he was going to log in this morning before going to work so that he's part of the race, and then jump on when he got back and do it, even if he finishes sort of 2 or 3 hours after. Peter's going to have to pull. What a shame. Right, okay. So what Peter suggested is he was going to pull out, but just do a gentle 90-minute ride. But he said, so I said, yeah, no problem, just cruise. But he said he's going to try and drop back and see if he can help pace us, myself and Ruth, back up towards the front of the C's or the B's. I know you're a strong rider, Pete, and if anyone could do it, you could. I think that's going to be a mission, and it would be extremely frustrating for you, waiting for me and trying to go slow enough that I can hold your wheel. All right, here is Peter now, just in front of us, and right on cue. He's upped his power, so he'll be looking to take the lead, put his nose in the wind, drag us around a little bit. Cheers, Hans Summerson, for the ride on. Hans obviously is our resident music man. Does all the awesome tunes for the What's Up vlogs. Keep them coming, buddy. We're approaching 100 vlogs now, so I'm going to be needing plenty of music. I love your stuff. It's brilliant, perfect for it. Peter's doing a great job here. I'm able to sit in the mid twos, but rock along at a really decent pace. Ruth's doing brilliantly just to hang on. Actually, that sounded like I'm surprised that she's hanging on. I'm not at all. She's just doing brilliantly, hanging on with us, staying with us. That sounds wrong as well. How can I word that? That doesn't sound like... Ruth's just doing brilliantly. Now look, she's pulling me. There you go. That's the best way. So I feel I'm doing well hanging on to Ruth. I'll just dig in a hole then, making a bad situation worse. The guys up front are cooking. Look, it's 2.5 minutes ahead already. They're holding sort of mid threes, and then Dave's sort of obviously dropped off a little bit, so he was up in the fives and pulled himself back in. Brian Roden there, I could see up in the sixes for a bit there, as was Hans, I think. Crazy figures. It's a long race, guys. I'm sure you've all got it mapped out and measured, so you know what you can hold for this kind of distance. But I'm certainly happiest at sort of mid to low twos, I think, over 100 kilometres. Especially in this heat. Whoa. Okay, so we're counting down. 23 laps to go. Oh man. Okay, so Peter now was helping us for a bit, so thanks for that, buddy. I think he's just having a gentle cruise now. Still points to be had if you just get to the end, as I've mentioned, so it's well worth it. I'm happy at this speed at the moment, just working with Ruth in the sort of mid to high twos most of the time. Hopefully that means I've still got something in the legs in the latter stages. Not necessarily to attack, because those guys are going to be, well look, they're more than half a lap ahead of me now already. So if they carry on at that pace, there'll be a good few laps ahead. Hey Carlos, Mr. Valadares, thanks very much for the ride on, buddy. Shame you couldn't make it today, but that's the price we pay for trying to mix up these time zones. I was aware that this would basically be an inconvenient time for quite a few. Cheers Noel for the ride on. It's really hard to find the ideal time, especially as other big groups have already found those times, so they're either riders are already committed to those rides, or I seem to have dropped Ruth. I didn't mean to. Sorry Ruth, I wasn't even concentrating, I was just rambling on. What was I saying? Yeah, either riders have already committed to those other rides, or Zwift actually suggests not to schedule my rides when it's too busy in the calendar already, so hence the reason why we're often going off at sort of 10 past the hour or 25 to the hour. They try and juggle it so they haven't got multiple events going off in the start pen. But yeah, all what I would consider to be the sort of prime times that cover most time zones have already been eaten up by regular rides for other teams and other groups. It's fair enough. First come, first serve. Cheers Peter for the ride on. I want to check, I've definitely given everybody ride-ons, haven't I? I was going to go right to the back, but this is actually right to the front where they're all now coming up to lap me already. How depressing is that? Do you know what I could do is I'll get a second bite of the cherry to jump onto their train when they come to lap me. Which a little bit humiliating, but I'm not so proud that I wouldn't gladly take a tow from them all when they arrive. Anyway, it does look like I've given ride-ons to everybody. Do you know what I do really like about the fact that we've got a small field out here today? Sorry, Noel McGrath just typing, where's the food stop? I know what you mean. I've got a banana and a gel next to me. That's gonna have to be enough to keep me going. Yeah, what's nice about having a small group is you can see all of the riders in the list there on one screen. I mean, it's great. It's feels more of an event when you've got big numbers, but it doesn't bother me. I just like racing. It's good fun. So lap record at the moment, 6 minutes, 0.9 seconds from Brett Smith, I think that was. Keith D, just 7/10 slower. So good pace up front. My best, 6 minutes 45. And my last lap, 7 minutes and 7 seconds. Bloody hell, I know I'm trying to pace myself, but that is slow. You know what I should have done for this one actually, because there's no sprint or KOM banners. We could have done bonus points for fastest lap. I didn't think of that. That would have made it even more worthwhile for those that are going to sort of struggle to hold a decent pace all the way through. Could try and bust a gut to get a fast lap time in their category, bag a few points, and then cruise around for the remaining 90 odd kilometres. Hey, Mr. Sean Lowe. Hello matey, thanks for the ride on. That's a timely reminder. Obviously, WKG does Mont Ventoux is all it's all finalised now in terms of dates and riders coming. So Sean being one of them. I think we had 11 in the end. I could embarrass myself and try and remember everybody's name that's coming, but I know I would forget someone, and it wouldn't be a reflection on how important they are, and I could end up insulting somebody. So I'm not going to try and list the names, but it's a really cool group of guys and girls, and so excited about it. I'm going to start looking at the villas actually as soon as this race is done. I had shortlisted a few anyway, but now I know the numbers, I can whittle that down, and I'll start firing out details to the guys that have committed to it. And then, oh look, I can see Dan Lell just behind. He's not in the race, but he's on the road. Hello, buddy. Yeah, fire out the details to the guys and girls that are committed, and we get something booked up. And then will come the awkward stage of proceedings where I'll have to start asking for deposits, etc. Which is never a comfortable thing to do, but I'm sure all you guys understand. That's the only way to get this thing happening. I'm not sure if it was a good idea or not, but I've become a bit obsessed with watching YouTube videos of people climbing Ventoux and their opinions of it. And hey, Thomas Horan, hello buddy, thanks very much for the ride on. Yeah, I'm not sure it was a good idea, because the overriding emotion is definitely still excitement, but there is quite a proportion of me that is absolutely crapping myself. I mean, the worst comes to the worst, I turn round, roll back down to the hotel, get in the pool with a beer. So, you know, it's not a bad life, but having driven or trained or planed, whatever it is we end up doing, all that way, and not be able to get to the top would be very disappointing, and something I would probably torture myself over for some time. I want to put a WKG sticker on the sign as well, where everybody seems to slap stickers. So I definitely need to make it to the summit. Or I could just give Darren one of the stickers. Darren Smith, he'll be up there in about 30 seconds. I'll give him a sticker, he can put it up there for me, just in case I don't make it. Right, while things have settled down, I'm not under pressure from behind, I've got no way of pressuring in front. Let's go and have a look at this front group, see what's going on. So we've got Brian, Keith, and I think that's Castro, is it? And who have we got after that? I can't tell. Alright, so Hans is there, Keith's there, Brian Roden's there, Dave Crook's there, Brett Smith's there. Wow. Who have I missed? Castro's there, F Castro. They are keeping it tight. I wonder if this will stay like this all the way to the end for a bunch sprint. Now, if that looks like it's going to be the case, I'm definitely going to change my camera view, so I'll ignore myself and keep an eye on that. Brian's popped up into the mid sevens there for a second. I'm not sure if that was a little leg tester for the others to see who had it in them to go. But they're all staying pretty tight. Oh, it's nice to see some matching Tron bikes there as well. I didn't quite get the colour right on the wheels of mine. I've gone a bit too red. These guys, well, they've all gone a bit too yellow, and that's what I was trying to avoid. I was trying to make it more orange, but I think I've ended up more pink. But yeah, looking like the official WKG bike. Very nice. Let's see how Ruth's getting on. Still holding mid twos, doing a great job. I mean, it's a shame we'd still be locked together had I not inadvertently sort of broken away whilst on a climb and chatting to the camera. That wouldn't happen later on in the race because my legs just wouldn't let it happen, but I was feeling quite fresh at the beginning there, and it just got away from me for a second. And I think Noel is still in here. So look, where are you? There he is. Oh, now he has managed to latch on to Mr. Wilson. Come on, man, pull back in, that'd be brilliant. Oh, it looks like Brian Roden's just managed to grab himself an ice cream. That's not on.
Very good. You're in the groove.
$20 to go. Jesus, that means we've only done 4. Oh, that's depressing. What would be good here is it looks like the main bunch have caught up with Ruth. Am I right? Where is Ruth? She's just dropped off. I was going to say it'd be great if she was able to hang on to them for a bit and drag her way back. That would have been great. It's definitely what I'm going to be trying to do. I don't know how long I'll hold out, but I'm definitely going to try and do at least a lap with the fast bunch. Thanks incidentally to the guys that bought the 2 jerseys that I had left over, the 2 mediums. Strange that medium seemed to be the least popular size, which was odd. Most people going for a small or a large. But I did actually try a medium on, and it wasn't much tighter than a large. I'd actually have happily worn it, if I'm honest, especially if I could just lose a couple of pounds. But yeah, so they are gone now, so ignore my post in Facebook. Those jerseys are now winging their way to their new owners. I'm going to do another order in probably October, I think, where I'll look at some options with regards to maybe not such an aero jersey. So I know I want more. For a start, I want some more shorts. I'm circulating these ones too much. I literally wear them, wash them, and I'm going to wear them out. So I'd like to get myself at least one more set of bib shorts, but maybe a more standard fitted jersey as well. I'm actually thinking I might do a kind of winter range where we flip the colours. So the jersey's predominantly orange with a black and grey stripe and a black logo. Be a lot more visible obviously in if anyone's riding outside, winter riding, or just dark mornings or evenings. And with Mont Ventoux on the horizon, I think I'll look at windbreakers as well. So let me know in the comments if there's anything you think I've overlooked that would be a good idea, either in terms of additional items or sort of design elements. But I think in a reversal of the colours might be quite cool. I haven't forgotten about caps, by the way. It's just there was a company that I'd been speaking to that do plain black cotton cycling caps at a pretty good price, which I could get then printed however I wanted. But they literally sold the last of their stock and have not given any indication of when new stock will be arriving. And the only other options I've looked at seem to be really expensive. It's a per item. It's a much more difficult thing to get than you'd imagine, unless you're ordering in massive quantities, which unfortunately I can't afford to do. And I don't want to sell them for stupid sort of Rapha-esque prices, unless we can get Rapha to actually make us some custom caps. That'd be nice. Endura actually do them. They did sort of suggest a service, but they're one of the guys that it's like a minimum sort of 1,000 unit quantity, and don't really have the means to entertain that at this point, and I'm not sure I'd sell 1,000 caps. So we're a decent sized group, we're not quite that big just yet. Right, so the front group are now 48 seconds away from lapping me. I've not got much else to say about that. You may have noticed that I've missed out vlog number 88. The last one I uploaded was 89, and this one is 90. So I did miss out 88, and there is a reason for that. Because I did actually start doing one, and it's only a little one. It's not a Zwift race, it was just a silly thing that I was doing, so bear with me. I will slot What's Up 88 back into the schedule at some point. If I do enough videos of my training rides for Ride London, we're actually on target for that to be vlog number 100 on Ride London, which would be great because vlog number 1 was last year's Ride London. So 100 videos to go full circle would be quite interesting. Well, interesting for me. These are all just the silly little things I think about in my spare time. Hi, Inga Backman. Thanks, buddy, for the ride on. All right, here we go. We got the leading group 18 seconds off me, and putting out some serious power now. I think they smell blood. They're going for me. Alright, here they come. 14 metres behind. 13, 12. I better get ready with my draft boost. I think that's my best bet of holding them. As soon as they hit me, I'll whack the old draft and try and hang on for dear life, I think. Alright, here we go. What would be really fun is if I can hold on for like, I don't know, 60 kilometres, keep pace with these guys, and then just attack, unlap myself for the most magnificent victory that Zwift will have ever seen. Might try and put that plan into action. I try to just close the two groups up. I can't quite get close enough. I pulled some of the guys with me, but I managed to break it up a little bit. Sorry, boys. I was hoping that if I pushed through there, everyone would come. I feel like I'm paying the price now for that attack. I managed to bridge, took Brett with me. I was hoping everyone was going to try and come across, but I think they're pacing themselves. So I've now been dropped by the group I managed to bridge to by 15 seconds, and I'm slipping back towards the guys that are probably a little bit angry with me for splitting up their group. So apologies, guys. Be kind to me when I rejoin with you, please. I think everybody's still going. Yep, they are. I can see Ruth, Noel, Peter possibly is no longer there. Yeah, I can't see Peter, but I think that was kind of expected. To be fair, I didn't expect Peter to race because he was going to be, I think he got a sort of mountain hike coming up tomorrow if I remember rightly, Pete, so good luck with that, my friend, and thanks for showing up. So yeah, I was surprised to see him ride, so I'm not surprised to see him leave. We're 35k in, 68.5 left, and still managing to hold on to mid twos, which is alright. It's when I start getting pains in my knees, and fingers crossed I don't get cramp, but that's the thing that really jeopardises any pace that I have in these longer races. The power of the bunch is proven once again. I did my fastest lap on that last lap of a 6:11. Prior to that was obviously 6:33. Again, I think I was kind of bunched up for a bit of that lap as well. So on my own, I'm about 6:50, I reckon, as an average. I'd like to have been able to stay with that bunch so that I could at least try and have a bit of a push at the end so that I stay on the same lap as them. Who's that saying? They might have to have a pee in a cup in a few minutes. That's Brett. Brett suggested he's going to have his wife hold a cup next to him while he pees off the side of the bike. That's commitment to your race position, that's for sure. Coming up on Noel. Good job, man. Still going strong. Would it be really cheeky if I just sat in his wheel for a bit? Go on, jump on. Oh, he's kicking big time up here. Go on, man. Get on my wheel. Here we go. He's going to come straight past me. Right. Let's try and team up with Noel for a while. Ooh. Dave Crook and Hans Summerson have cut that back right down. Cut that time right back down, I think is what I was trying to say. It was 22 seconds last time I looked, it's now 9. Okay, myself and Noel McGrath just about to be joined by Dave Crook and Hans Summerson for the second time, and I've promised I'm not going to attack off the front of this bunch if they do rejoin. Ruth just pointed out that she said that she thought I'd lap her. I'm still a long way off, Ruth. 1:43. Alright, Hans has gone straight past. There's Dave in front of me now. Is Hans going to carry on with that pace, or is he dropping back? I think we're all going to group together now. No, it looks like Hans is going to carry on, pushing on. Such a shame that I'm a lap down, because I'd love for this little trio here of myself, Dave Crook and Hans Summerson to be fighting out for position, because I think we're the only remaining C's. Yeah, I think that's right. So it's really disappointing that I'm a lap off these guys, because if we could hold this pace and stay together till the end, we're going to have a real good sprint for the line. And unfortunately I know all too well what Dave Crook's sprints are like, so maybe I'd have to go for a slightly longer attack and hope for the best. I can't remember being in a sprint finish with Hans, so can't really judge that one just yet. But his power numbers are good, so I'm sure he's going to be strong in a sprint. But yeah, it'd be nice to actually be fighting for position here rather than cruising around with these guys a lap down. So our hands actually just dropped off 9 seconds off the back of us. Not sure if he's had a problem or just got detached on a climb or something. Doesn't make any difference because I'd have to unlap myself in order to affect the finishing position. The guys up front have just gone through. Oh yeah, look, so hands having dropouts. Yeah, so the guys up front have just gone through the halfway point, or well, the 50k point, and then it actually works out about 103, 104 kilometres. But they're 5.5, 6 kilometres ahead of me, which is a joke because I was with them what seems like a couple of seconds ago when I did that astonishing bridge from one group to the other, which just goes to show I have definitely got Sagan qualities within me. It's just a matter of unleashing them and knowing when to use them. But yeah, despite that brilliance there, 2.5 minutes ahead, or 2 minutes and 40 ahead. Now, I don't know if Dave is pacing himself here at sort of 2.2 watts per kilogram, or if that's kind of the level he wants to be at. I'd be very surprised. He's an absolute monster on the bike, but there might come a point soon where I think it's worth pushing on as hard as I can just to see if there's a possibility of getting a lap back. They went off so fast, so I wouldn't be surprised if some of these guys are really feeling it. So Noel McGrath saying he's feeling the effects of the pretzel. I think Noel and Carlos did a pretzel yesterday, and he's really feeling it now. And Dave Cook just saying too much salt on the pretzel could well be the case.
Very good. You're in the groove.
Alright, Hans has managed to pull back in. Good man, he was having some dropouts. Hence the 8 or 9 second deficit he had for a bit. He's managed to pull back. Dave's had a cold for the last few days, so he's possibly feeling the effects. Hey, I can see Stevie Wongster on course. Good man. He's not part of the race, but he's cruising around. Good to see you, buddy. Yeah, halfway point. No, not halfway point. Dave Crooks pointed out that we're halfway. Oh, they are. Yeah, of course they are. They're a lap ahead of me. That was just cruel, Dave, to point that out. Dave's just pointed out that it looks like the lead group has split up a bit, so I'll get over this hill and then have a quick look. Yeah, I can see Brian. It's about 30 seconds, maybe 40 seconds off now. Looks like Castro, Keith and Brett are still together, is that right? Yeah, let's go and have a look up front. Okay, so there's Brian, who's dropped off about 45 seconds from what is now the leading trio. Keith Denton, not Noel McGrath, I'd like to say Noel McGrath, but it's not. Keith Denton, F Castro, and Brett Smith. So it's a bit of a whittling down process up front. I want to keep an eye on Dave Crook's power output, because he mentioned he was probably going to take a natural break at some point. And if I see his power drop down to 0, I'm going to go on a charge, try and unlap myself in his absence. Can't see it happening, but depends. I don't know what Dave's toilet habits are. Maybe he means to go and have a sit down and a read in the toilet, which is what most blokes do. Give me plenty of time to get a lap. Anyway, I shouldn't really be talking about my fellow riders' bathroom strategies. I'm holding on to this aero as well. I'm not going to risk using it until the point where I could do with attacking to try and get this lap, because if I use it up and then go through the start finish and get a bloody XP boost or something useless, I'll be disappointed. Dave was also saying that he's had a cold and a hangover for the last few days, so my sympathies go out to you, Dave, but that also says to me, attack. Hey, Al Patterson. Hello, my friend. Thanks very much for the ride on. Good to see you. I don't get that comment. I hope you make as funny as Marcus. I'm not sure what that was in reference to there, Keith. But it looks like they're all attacking each other at the front there. Yeah, it looks like Castro has gone 10 seconds clear of Keith, who in turn... Oh, actually, no, that's Noel McGrath behind him, so I can't tell the gap just yet. But I think he's about 20 seconds ahead of Brian. I'll have to double check on that. But yeah, it's kicking off up front. Who else is... Oh, it's Brett, isn't it? Of course. So Brett and F. Castro are the guys that have broken away at the front there. I feel really bad now because I helped Brett to bridge the gap. I'm sure it had nothing to do with it, but it's possible I've just sort of messed up the tactics of the front runners. I shouldn't laugh, but it is quite amusing. Sorry guys, sorry Keith, sorry who else here, Brian Roden, and these two that I'm with, Hans Samuelsson and Dave Crook. Obviously they were with those guys as well until I kind of split things up a little bit. I'm secretly quite proud of that. Well, not even that secretly, I'm quite proud of that. It's not really in the spirit of the race, but it was my moment of glory and I took it. Right, so I have crossed the halfway point now, at last. So I'm just looking out for any kind of waver from Dave Crook's power output, and I will go for that unlapping. Obviously I'd like to unlap myself from Hans as well, but Hans hasn't suggested that he's going for a toilet break anytime soon. Unless Dave was just going to do the wee in a cup while his wife holds it job that others had suggested. Okay, it looks like the front have come together again with Keith, Brett, Castro. Brian's still... looks like he's still off that. But that front trio have pulled back together again, so it would seem. I think Hans might have just had another dropout. He's just confirmed. He's popped 5 seconds off the back again. Now, in true pro form, I'm not going to attack while he's having a mechanical. That would not be good form. So I'll just hold the pace with Dave still, bide my time, and then see if I can do anything about getting this lap back. All right, we're over halfway lap-wise now, which is nice. The front guys are coming up to lap me again. They're a minute and a half behind, away from lapping me for a second time. Now, that could cause me some issues here, because if I do go for this unlapping procedure, and then when the other guys catch up to to Dave and Hans, if they're able to jump into that bunch, they're going to fly up behind me anyway, no matter how hard I work. So I'm not sure. Should I wait for them as well and then try and push on? It's kind of scuppered my plans a little bit. What is nice is so far I've been able to keep my heart well under control. This is the sort of lowest average heart rate I've had for some time. I mean, obviously I'm not busting a gut anyway, pace-wise, but still 60k in to a pretty decent ride, and managing to hover around the sort of 155, 160 mark. Right, so Hans Samuelsson's now in amongst the leaders of Brett Smith, Keith D and F Castro. In fact, he's just sort of dropped off the back of those guys. So it was a worry about trying to unlap myself from him, but he'd be able to hook onto that lead group and pull himself round, which means it'd be impossible for me to try and break away. So now I'm wondering whether I should go for it, regardless of whether I can shake Dave off or not, to see if I can unlap myself from Hans. Obviously he's had some technical problems, which would benefit me greatly if I could sprint round really quickly and try and race him for second place. I'll leave it for a bit anyway. What I don't want to do is burn myself out with loads of miles to go. But at the same time, I need to leave myself enough time to try and make up a full sort of 6-minute lap, or what will be about 4.5 minutes now, with Hans being 1 minute 20 behind me. I've got nothing to lose really. I'm third out of 3 at the moment, a lap down. Worst case scenario, I finish third out of 3 very slowly. I'd quite like to make a bit of a fight of it if I can. Truth be told, I wasn't expecting everybody to blast off like that, and it may be that that's the only reason I wasn't able to sort of stay with that group in the first place, but it might also be the reason I'm able to have a bit of a kick towards the end here. That's assuming I can. I feel alright at the moment, that's the point. My heart rate's under control. I'm feeling reasonably good. Obviously I've been working with Dave for most of this, and sort of sharing the workload, so that's certainly helped. So I don't know what it'll be like when I have to sort of jump off on my own and try and attack. I think I'll try and get this gap to back to Hans Petter Samuelsson to over 2 minutes before I think about it. But I'm going to have to risk accidental flash of hairy man nipple, I'm afraid. Got to undo this jersey. It's just too warm. Still 27 degrees in here, according to my fan over there.
Ticonderoga standing by for Sonic Boom.
9 laps to go. That's all, into single figures. I like that. Noel McGrath just asking whose effing idea was this. I don't know, Noel. He's an idiot, whoever it was. So the lead group are just 16 seconds from lapping me for a second time. Now this is where the decisions need to be made. I need to be able to jump on this train, pull back Hans Petter Samuelsson, who's 2:55 behind me, and if at all possible, hope that Dave's got nothing left when I do jump on. Alright, we're coming up to Ruth again. Sorry Ruth, don't mean to point that out, but I'm normally on the receiving end of this. So, great job though, keep going. Alright, here come the fast boys. Literally as we come over the top of that crest. They're up in the 6 watts per kilogram. There's no point in me even trying to hold on. That's Brett Smith, just gone for it. Dave's managed to gap me as well. Here comes, who's that? Keith and F Castro. I can't even grab hold of their wheels. Come on. I've just got to get on the back of this bunch. Otherwise I'm done. There we go. Yes. All right. I'm in. Now I need to get my breath back. Thank you, whoever that is. But that's sadly not the case. I'm a lap down. I can't see who sent me that private message congratulating me on bridging back to the bees. But I'm actually 8 kilometres behind them. Hey, M Collins from Team Type 1, thank you very much for the ride on. I'm hoping to see you and Zoe at Ride London in a couple of weeks' time. I think we're all riding for JDRF if I'm not mistaken. Okay, so the fast guys have been and gone. Didn't manage to hold on to them for long at all, and then we basically got to the first climb and they disappeared. Luckily for me, Dave wasn't able to go with them either. So, kind of as you were, with myself and Dave, albeit a lap apart, sitting around sort of 2.5 for most of it. I'm 2:32 behind Hans. Obviously, this is to basically get back on level terms with him. I'm having to work pretty hard. But the gap is coming down slowly. I've got 26 kilometres to go. So 26 kilometres to make up a 2.5 minute deficit is not going to be easy. But I made that my target. All the time I've got Dave here with me. Obviously it's going to make it a bit easier to keep the speed up. But at some point I'm going to have to try and really push on. Hope that Dave comes with me. Very good. 80 kilometres done, 24.2 to go. Dave Crook just saying you better make it to the vlog, in the vlog this time. Yeah, I think it's a pretty good bet that you'll be in it this time, Dave. Alright, it's time to try and up the pace just for a little while. I think he's seen that I upped the power and he's straight up in the fours. Good job, man. I think he's got me covered off pretty well. I'm still going to keep trying. Okay, got the gap down to 125 now from that little surge with an aero boost. I'm just trying to keep this rhythm for a little while. See what we can do. Still got 21 kilometres to go. I think if I get cramped, that'll be game over. So far, so good. Someone just finished? Surely not. Now, I think they're on their last lap. They've just crossed the 100 kilometre mark. They're on their last lap now. Great job, guys. I would flick forward to have a look, but I'm pretty embroiled in a chase at the moment. Trying to chase down Hans. He seems to be able to kick the power in when he needs to. And I'm really trying here. There's Noel. Great ride, man. Keep going. And I can see Hans just 8 seconds up the road. Looks like there's a real sprint going on for the win between Keith, Brett and F Castro. Sorry, I don't know your first name, F Castro. It looks like Keith might have got it. If that's the end, hard to tell. I'd like to look, like I say, I need to concentrate on this little battle here. First part of the job is done. caught the lap back up. Now do we go straight past? Try to. That's still showing Hans 5 seconds ahead. I thought we'd just gone past him. Not sure what happened there. Oh, I think he's having internet dropouts by the looks of things. His bike's flickering about all over the place. Oh man, this thing's hard enough as it is. Unlucky, buddy. Yeah, see, I'm now showing 20 seconds ahead of Hans. It's a hollow victory for me, Hans, I've got to say. Unlucky, man. Oh, it looks like it's still going on up front. Does that mean that Brett's got it? Key second? I don't know. Whatever happens, I'm inside my last 10k, that's all I care about. I managed to pull myself to second in the seas. And like I say, had it been a fair fight, I'd have been overjoyed at managing to pull that lap back. But Hans has been riddled with technical problems all the way through this. Most significantly, right at the point where myself and Dave managed to go past, to gap him in the beginning. Oh, Dave's still got the power to put the high fours in up these climbs. I will get cramp, I think, if I push that hard. At this point, I'm really pleased. I've held off 95 kilometres without feeling any cramp so far. There's still time, obviously, but I'm very pleased to have made it this far. Is that what you call vinegar doping? With my old apple cider vinegar mix in my drink. Yeah, I can feel twinges of cramp if I get out of the saddle. So I won't be doing that again. Last 2 laps. Woohoo! And there we have, I think, one of the winners, or the winner maybe, Brett Smith, that just gone past. Who's this? That's Keith. Great job, guys. Stunning ride, 2 laps ahead of me. Awesome power all the way through. Who we got here that I've just gone past? That's F Castro. Well done, buddy. Great race. Hans is not going to let me rest on this. He's up in the high 3s and 4s now. He could steal it from me yet. Oh, 100k done, and just about to start my final lap. Thank God for that. Is that Dave in front, having finished? I think so. Great job, man. Thanks for your help around there as well. It goes much quicker when you're riding with someone. Yeah, thank you, Brett. Almost there. Trying to finish strong. Oh, well done, Brian. I didn't realise you got cramp, buddy. Well done for making it to the end. Excellent job. Thanks for riding. 3k to go. Come on. Just keep it rolling. Really feeling it now. I think it's psychology. Knowing that I've got this short distance to go. Just trying to keep the legs moving at the same kind of pace that I have been. Heart rate obviously has been consistently higher for the last few laps. But I got to 100k without cramp. I'm pleased, very pleased. That bodes well for Ride London. Last K. Here we go. Just a couple of little climbs, then we're there. Over the line. Last little climb, 100 metres or 130 metres. Inside the last 100 now. There's the banner. Oh, isn't that a beautiful sight? for very tired eyes. Yes. Oh man. That was tough. That was tough. I did the whole thing without cramp. Woo. Well done everybody. What a brilliant race. Stunning up front. Brett Smith taking it by what looks like 6 seconds in the end. Oh, I'm going to have to unclip. I've got to stretch. Oh. Oh. Yeah. Well done, Brett. Taking it by 6 seconds ahead of Keith. Brilliant effort. In second, F. Castro. Well done, buddy. Coming back 36 seconds. Is that behind Keith? Brian Roden, obviously I'd had cramp, I didn't realise. Well done, mate. Fantastic ride. Sorry, I feel a bit faint. Oh. Sorry guys, feeling a bit dizzy. I'll try and wrap this up before I pass out. Dave Crook, legend. If it was like midnight start time for you and my ideal riding buddy all the way through that, brilliant job, man. Hans Petter Summerson, I feel really sorry for you. Awesome effort. Like I say, it was a bit of a hollow victory for me to come round because I know you were having problems really early on. Really glad you're still going, buddy. I think actually you got about 300 metres to go, so great job. Then we've got Ruth. Stunning effort, Ruth. Keep going. I can't see you on my screen now because I've effectively come out of the event module. And Noel. Brilliant effort, guys. There we go. Hans just come over the finish line. Oh, guys, I'd love to stay here and wrap this up properly, but I genuinely think I'm going to pass out and be sick. I'm going to have to get off the bike and lay down. So, thank you all so much for watching. Thank you even more for riding, especially you guys that got up crack of dawn. Really good fun as always. I think that's the right word. And enjoy the nice break that we've got now in the league races. And I look forward to seeing you at the 2 for 1 on Thursday. And if you haven't signed up for the Triple Crown yet, check it out, jump in. It looks like it's going to be a brilliant event. So, sorry guys, catch you next time. Ciao.